What's going on, everyone? And thank you for tuning in. And today I'm doing a special rankings video. So if you watched my prediction video last week, I said I wanted to do a possible ranking video. So I'm going to try to do this. I'm going to try to rank all these 25 first takeover events, because now that this takeover 25 is done in the books, why heck not? And this was a very tedious project, and I had to rewrite this countdown twice. So hopefully, I think I got it down. I'm going to try to breeze through this as quick as possible. In the best time that I got. All right, so I don't want to dabble too much, but this was a really tough one. So let's dive right in. Okay. Also, I'm not counting Arrival because that was just a separate NXT event, and also a Takeover Blackpool. But of course, that was a UK roster only pay-per-view or event technically. But anyway, let's do this. All right. Coming at the 25 spot is going to be the first ever takeover event. And of course, how can I say this? Why not then start with the one that essentially set the formula, set the standard for how these NXT shows would be done, all right? Even though, let's see, how do I say this? When I first saw this takeover, I felt like they could have axed a couple of matches, because there was like two matches on the undercard that only lasted not even lasted a minute, because what the heck, it was like, okay, they had to fill the time, but hey, that's how I did it. But the matches that were there to see, which was the championship main event between Adrian Neville and Tyson Kidd, pardon me, Sami Zayn and Tyler Breeze, and of course the women's championship match between Charlotte and Natalya. Good stuff altogether. Which segues into rank number 24, which is NXT Takeover Fatal 4-Way, which features those four aforementioned guys, which was Breeze, Zayn, Tyson Kidd, and Adrian Neville. But this time, all of them were competing for the championship, and these guys just really worked together, and they put on such a classic match. Good stuff all around. Another match I want to talk about, and just briefly, is one of the undercard matches, when that was the Bayley versus Charlotte match, because hey, it's once again a match that just shows how great these two of the four horsewomen work really well together, and it just shows how far these two would go. All right, need I say more? Take at slots number 23 and 22. I'm going to lump them together because both of them are essentially have the same main event, which is Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. But what ranks their match at Rival a little higher than their match at Unsolved was because that finish, and what I would say, no, not that finish. I would say the match had more of a real emotional ending, not as much as the one at Unsolved, because that match was essentially thrown out. That was the finish, which was a little disappointing, but it did lead to the arrival of Samoa Joe, which was pretty cool. But the one at Rival was just so good, which was essentially just Kevin Owens beating the shit out of Sami Zayn and becoming champion by a technical knockout, which is a rare thing that I don't think has ever seen. But of course, if I had to compare this to any of the veins of their El Generico Kevin Steen matches, which of course that's what they were on the independent circuits, I felt like I don't think those two things were kind of like night and day. It's like the matches in Ring of Honor and Pro Wrestling are different. This one's not as much. But that's just me. All right. Coming at the 21 slot is going to be Takeover The End, and the reason why is because for the last of the Takeover events held at Full Sail, I felt like they went out with a bang. There was a steel cage main event, good stuff, but I felt like it was the weakest of the Finn Balor Samoa Joe feud that was going on at the time, because I felt like it limited what they could do, but it was a good main event nonetheless. Let's see, the undercard was a great show-stealing match between Austin Aries and Shinsuke Nakamura. Definitely go back and watch that event for that match. All right. Now coming in at number 20. Now that I'm done with some of the Full Sail takeovers, now here's the first of the international ones. That is Takeover London. Of course, I'm going to say this. I'm going to get a little heat. Well, I'm going to say it was a fine show, but I felt like there was something off about it. But I will say, main event, good stuff. The tag team title match, I felt like the wrong team won. But of course, both those two teams were over SL, which was Enzo and Cass, and the Revival. I love both of them. Love their both bodies of work. But I felt like Enzo and Cass should have deserved that title win. But that's just me. All right. Coming in at the number 19 slot is going to be Takeover San Antonio, and this one, the main event, which was the first encounter between Shinsuke Nakamura and Bobby Roode. And of course, man, Bobby Roode was getting pushed to the moon. at that time, and so he was over as hell. We loved him, and like this match really just showed how well these two worked together, and like just really brought the best out of both men, and it was such a good match. All right, yeah, say more. The undercard not too special except for the Authors of Pain destroying DIY. My God, it's like David versus Goliath there. Yeah, pretty much get some crazy shit, but some good stuff. Coming in at number 18 is going to be Takeover Toronto, which is essentially their second encounter between Nakamura and Samoa Joe. Good stuff all around. And, of course, an amazing tag team 2 out of 3 falls match for the tag team championship, which was DIY and the Revival. Amazing, amazing stuff. But, of course, my one thing is, okay, so they start off the show with the two local guys. Since they're in Toronto, they had Baru taking on Ty Dillinger, which was a good, solid opener. But I felt like the fans kind of lost interest. But I think they're trying to save it for the tag team title match. Well, of course, hey, I felt like it's still delivered on a level, all right? Coming in at number 17 is going to be Takeover Orlando, which is essentially Bobby Roode versus Shinsuke Nakamura, Chapter 2. Good stuff. That really brought the best out of both guys once again. Not much else I can say between them. And, of course, obviously, also had me just go and say, oh, yeah, this is some great stuff. Why the women's division are amazing, which was Asuka and Ember for the women's championship, because, my God, Asuka was like a freaking monster in that brand. Like, it was like she was the undefeated, taking on the underdog, and like Ember Moon is just a fine talent. Good stuff. Good match. Hook into my veins. Now coming in at ranked 16 and 15, it's a bit of a toss up. I'm going to lump them together, which is going to be Takeover Brooklyn's 2 and 3. If you look at both cards, they both have a strong card. But of course, which ones did I think was better? It's up to debate. Okay, I like them both. Let's see. But of course, you had Joe and Nakamura, their first encounter in the main event of that for the NXT Championship. You had Drew McIntyre taking on Bobby Roode for the NXT Championship, which also included the arrival of the Undisputed Era, which of course I think maybe that might have put over the top ring, but I don't know. It's like I say, it's up for debate for me, but I've decided to lump them together, okay? It's really hard to pick. Now, coming in at rank 14 is going to be Takeover Our Evolution. Now, the reason why I ranked this out of the Full Sail ones higher is because of the emotional mutual respect between Sami Zayn and Adrian Neville had for each other. And like those two just brought everything that they had to the dance, and those two delivered, including everything, including a ref bump, which I did not expect. Not much else I can say. Now, of course, one of the matches on the undercard, which was Charlotte taking on Sasha Banks, and of course, once again, another horsewomen match. Need I say more? Obviously, for the women's championship, good stuff there. Coming in at Takeover at rank number 13 is going to be Takeover Chicago. 2 words: done. Bait. Can I say the UK took over? Yeah, good stuff. It baffles me that was the day. That takeover started the age of the Bruiserweight. Amazing stuff all around. Then, of course, you had the main event, which was the tag team ladder match. Some good stuff, which also included the implosion of DIY, which would eventually segue into another just year-long story, which was an emotional-driven story that all of us were fully invested in. Sorry there. And, of course, obviously, Sports Ahead. Those I'm going to lump all those together on this list ahead. Coming in at rank number 12 is going to be Takeover Philadelphia. And this one, I'm going to say this right now, the main event between Andrade Cien Almas and John Gargano. I'm going to say this. It's going to be one of the first times I'm going to say this. Use this term: false finishes. False finishes at the yin yang. Holy crap! What a match! I love this. I was literally on the edge of my seat. I was like, "Oh my God!" And the fact that this match earned a 5-star rating from Dave Meltzer really put it over the top for me. It made me happy. It really showed that the Black and Gold brand really has some legs. It really has some life left to go. All right. And so amazing stuff. And of course, obviously the Extreme Rules match between Aleister Black and Adam Cole. Good stuff all around. Now, coming at 11 and 10, I'm decided to lump the 2 War Games into these slots. It's hard to pick which one was better, but of course, I love the War Games good matches, good stuff. Chaos ensues. It was really, let's see, the first War Games match, you had 3 teams, which was Sanity, Undisputed, and of course, the Authors of Pain and Roderick Strong thrown in there for good measure. Good stuff. It was a little chaotic, but hell, it was fun. War Games 2, I think, was slightly better because it felt more like an actual traditional War Games match. You had 4-on-4, which was Undisputed Era, Dunn, Ricochet, and the War Raiders. Good stuff there. Yeah, not much else I can say about War Games. All right, I love that concept match. All right, in fact, I did a concept. My favorite War Games matches video on this channel. All right. Anyway, number 9 is going to be Takeover Phoenix. Yes, as recent as it sounds, it's a great show from top to bottom. I love the main event, Aleister Black and Ciampa. It's like watching these two guys. It's like two polar opposite like personas. You had Aleister Black, who's just an unstoppable force of destruction, taking on just this psychotic of the Ciampa. And I love this. It was some good storytelling overall, and of course another good show stealing match, full false finishes. Gargano and Ricochet for the North American Championship. I almost said U.S. title there, but still a good match nonetheless. Now, coming in at number 8 is going to be Takeover New Orleans. And, of course, the reason why is because of this. And actually, I'm going to lump this 7 and 6 together because the main event is essentially the same thing. It's Gargano and Ciampa, but with totally different chapters. You had, let's see, you had the unsanctioned match here in New Orleans. You had their street fight in Chicago. And then finally, you had their last man standing match at Takeover Brooklyn 4. Holy hot shit. What a year it was for these two, and they delivered, and I loved it. Good stuff all around. All right. Now, coming in at number 5 is going to be Takeover New York. Once again, another recent one. Need I say more? Gargano and Cole. Match full of false finishes. 2 out of 3 falls. It's still fresh in each other's minds. It is definitely a top contender for possibly one of the best shows that they've done in the history of Takeover. Good stuff there. Coming at number 4 is going to be Takeover Respect, going back to the Full Sail once again. And the reason why is the Iron Woman match. Need I say more? But just Sasha and Bayley really tore the house down. It was such a good main event. Good stuff all around. Now, of course, but also this show was more of the untraditional kind of card because this was also the first. Also featured the first of the Dusty Cup. The Dusty Tag Team Classic tournament, and it was still a good tournament. And me just saying, this is awesome. I really enjoyed it. The main event really brought everything together and just really drove it home. Really shows how well and tough these women are, especially the 4 Horsemen. Great workers all around. Now coming at the number 3 spot is going to be the most recent one. I'm sorry, folks. I had to put it at the top for reasons. I'm just going to say amazing stuff all around. I love Gargano and Cole, Velveteen Dream and Breeze, amazing stuff. I really loved that. It was definitely a dream match, and I felt like those matches delivered, and I was really happy. Okay, and now for the top 2 obvious ones. Number 2, Takeover Brooklyn. Need I say more? Sasha and Bayley, their very first encounter. Good stuff. Then you had the ladder match between Kevin Owens and Finn Balor. Amazing stuff. And to top it all off, the number 1 slot. It's Takeover fucking Dallas. Come on. By process of elimination, Takeover Dallas. Holy hotcakes. What can I say about this show? There was the arrival of Shinsuke Nakamura. She took on Sami Zayn. They had an amazing main event between Joe and Balor. Well, let's see. I don't know. Depending on how you look at it, I know the match was just full of referee stoppages, but I felt like add to the tension and add to the story. Some great stuff all around. But I'm gonna hit this home more often than not. Is that Nakamura and Zayn is definitely going to be one of the best matches of this entire brand's history. Where it was a live event or television or anything like that, it is still going to be the best match in the history of this event. All right? So, yeah. That's my countdown, folks. I hope you enjoyed it. I want to hear yours. If you want to do it, exhausted in your efforts in doing this, go do it, okay? That does for tonight. Thumbs up this video, subscribe to my channel, stay tuned for some more awesome, exciting videos.